Today I fear a lot. So why do I fear? Because as I usually say in the classroom that if more than 80% question is not from my notes, then your fee is refundable. So though I don't have any money at all today in my pocket, then you may claim that sir, what you were asking last 20 years question, that is not in your notes. Any one of you may claim. And I am damn sure more than 80% question will be from your notes, more than of UPSC, BPSC, UPPCS, RAS, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, your university examination. Otherwise your fee is refundable. And not only till the main examination of 2023, but I am talking about 2024 as well. If question is from this section in the examination, that will be from your notes. Now let's start the previous year question. Focal conception of power. Just I have already dictated you. Focal's conception of power. Right? Am I right or wrong? Is it true? Just I have dictated you focality and notion of power. Power is flowing like blood in the veins and capillaries. Right? Then the revolution is permanent. Is permanent sentence is wrong. Whosoever typed this. Revolution is permanent. Permanent revolution, you know. You will have to start in this way, as I have dictated you in the classroom. Like, as Karl Marx says, that once the proletariat class has control over the means of production through revolution, then ipso facto they will have control over the superstructure, right? Superstructure. Ipso facto. But this concept is first of all modified by Mao Zedong, who stated though you can capture power, right? But the mindset of the people remains the same, right? By force we can snatch 5,000 rupees of Ning, but mindset of Ning remains the same. So it requires permanent revolution. And then link it with Gramsci, right? Gramsci says the bourgeois class is not ruling over the state by force only, but creating hegemonism. To fight against the hegemonism of the bourgeois class, it will take time, right, to change the mindset. So start from Karl Marx and link it with Mao Zedong and Gramsci. Any one of you may say that you have not taught me. So 2023, this is clear now. Marx's conception of alienation is an essential part of reality of capitalism. Explains what is alienation. Once you remove the alienation, only then you will get freedom. He divided the alienation into different stages, like alienation from work, alienation from colleague, and alienation from your family member, tradition, culture, value, and ultimately you are alienating by yourself only. Then there is no difference between man and machine. We have already discussed this. Anyone say no? I have not taught you. Yes?
No sir, we are saying that no sir, it is from the notes.
Say, anyone say that this answer is not in our note, then your fee is refundable. Though I don't have money, even then somehow with the help of Ning I can manage. Right? Say, now examine the nature and meaning of nature and meaning of power, traditional notion of power, right? Then Marxist notion of power, right? Gramsci's notion of power, hegemonism, right? Then Hannah Arendt's notion of power and Foucault's notion of power, right? Am I right? Do you want refund? Then you will have to give me proof. Then do you want?
No, sir, no.
No, you don't want. Then Marx's concept of class. Then class, bourgeois class. Bourgeois class and proletariat class. But class here, you will have to start from the materialistic interpretation of history. Start from dialectic materialism, then link it with the table. Primitive communism to Roman Greek city-state to communism, right? Class, and the class which have control over the means of production, decided destiny of the society, and this type of exploitation will come to an end only in the communism. Perhaps we have already discussed this. Is it true? Is it true? Is it true? Yes, Priyansi. Yes, yes, yes. No, you were absent. Yes, Ronak, Ankur.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Rohit, Abhishek. No. Next question is, according to Gramsci, hegemonism is primarily based on the organization of consent, comment. That structure of hegemonism at social level, willing obedience of the people, that you will have to write. I have already dictated in detail. Next question is, critically examine Hannah Arendt's conceptual type of labor, work and action. Labor, work and action. Then you will have to write about the constructive notion of power. Right? We have already discussed. Contemporary relevance of Marxism. What extent Marxism is relevant? Say here, you will have to write everything. And you will have to show the relevance, like relevance of alienation theory in the bourgeois society. Only then you will get liberty. Class struggle, whether class struggle between haves and haves not is going on or not, that you will have to write. Then mode of production, means of production, relation of production, whether prevailing in this society, in our society or not. We have already discussed so many times. Who frames the law? Crorepati. Who contests election? Crorepati. This Crorepati is elected an MLA or MP. They frame law. They manipulate the society. Right? We are simply hardware. Software is uploaded by the proprietary section of the society. Clear? Critically examine McPherson's view of democracy. Then whatever I have dictated you, in genuine democracy, what will happen? Everybody will get the opportunity to have developmental power, right? And regarding McPherson's notion on democracy, we will discuss in detail under the chapter democracy, when we will discuss about political theory. Right? Next question is, explain relationship between power, authority and legitimacy. We have already discussed, and we will elaborate it in political theory as well. Right? Then differentiate between freedom and liberty. Freedom and liberty, as we have already discussed in our previous class, Marxist scholar do not use the term liberty, because liberty is derived from Latin word liber, right, which means liberalism, and root word of liberalism is liber, root word of liberty is liber. Therefore Marxist scholar do not use the term liberty, they use the term freedom. Right? And what is freedom? After removal of alienation, only then you will get genuine freedom. Yeah? We have already discussed in the classroom. Gramsci's conception of hegemony. Have we discussed this? Right. The repetition of the question. Explain Marx's understanding of human essence of alienation. You will have to write about alienation theory of Karl Marx. Right. Then Hannah Arendt's analysis of ideology, modern totalitarianism. Right. Then you will have to write about Hannah Arendt's notion constructive power and state. State is breeding totalitarianism, right? And if we are creating public realm, that is congenial condition for each other, that is against the totalitarianism, right? I have already drawn the flow chart, and if you drawing the flow chart, you will get all the answer, right? Next question is, discuss relationship between base and superstructure. Base is economic structure, right? Means of product. Superstructure is state, religion, tradition, custom, value. These all are superstructure. The class which have control over the base, that class has control over the superstructure as well. We have already discussed it. Distinguish between power and authority. Power, authority and legitimacy we have already discussed. Gramsci's notion of organic intellectual. Organic intellectual who will fight against the bourgeois hegemonism, right? Who will fight against the bourgeois hegemonism. You will have to write about the hegemony and how to fight against the established hegemonism. It may take decades, even century. For that purpose, you will have to create the organic intellectuals. Power is never property of an individual. It belongs to a group, remains in existence only so long as the group keeps together. Hannah Arendt, right? Hannah Arendt. And power belongs to the people when they are working in concerted way. That generates power, and it is stored in political institution. It remains operative unless the people is organized. If it is disorganized, then power breaks. Gramsci's distinction between hegemonism and domination. Domination means you are dominating the society unwillingly by force, right? By establishing dictatorship, right? Domination. Hegemonism means willing obedience. To set up such a superstructure, to socialize the people in such a way that they will accept that the existing system, existing institution is the best. That is the hegemonism. Domination, that you are imposing your power over others. That is the domination, right? Now last one is God Save Me. Discuss what since Marx's understanding of a state can be considered as materialistic interpretation, dialectic materialism, and link it with the historical materialism. That's all. Now, let's see, I showed you only 80%. Now see, 100%. This guarantee is not for the last 20 years, but this guarantee is for examination as well. So now, first time you all lost, and hope in September and October when main examination will be conducted by the UPSC, then you have one more chance to claim refund of your fee. This is all about today's class. And if any one of you want to ask me any question, if you have any confusion related to the previous year question, you may ask me question. I'm not giving you the format because I have already dictated you in detail about each and everything. So if I give you the format, then it will be repetitious in nature. It will be simply repetition, right? This is the main reason I am not giving you the format. Clear? Next question. Question please. Any one of you?
2024 section 2024 section 8
24.
2014 section A 2A comment on the view that socialism in the 21st century may be reborn as anti-capitalism.
Socialism in 21st century may be
Reborn as anti-capitalism.
reborn as
Anti-capitalism.
anti-A-N-T-I.
Capitalism. Yes, anti-capitalism. 2014 second.
Again repeat the question.
Comment on the view that socialism in the 21st century may be reborn as anti-capitalism.
Please give the question. View that socialism in the 21st century may be reborn as anti-capitalism. Reborn as anti-capitalism. Then reborn as anti-capitalism. Of course, socialism is anti-capitalism, but after disintegration of the USSR, right? USSR has already adopted capitalism. China is already following the capitalist mode of production, right? Capitalist mode of production. Then it can be predicted that if socialism established anywhere in the world, right, then it will be anti-capitalism or say, and sooner or later in Russia, socialist form of government will be established again under leadership of Vladimir Putin, then that will be anti-capitalism, right? Anti-capitalism. So this is not related to any theoretical aspect of Marxism, but it is simply a type of prediction that most probably socialism will emerge again in Russia and China. China is already a so-called socialist country. The mode of production will be different, right? Mode of production will be different. Are you getting my point? That is capitalist mode of production. But the governance will be socialist in structure, under dictatorship of the leaders of both the country, and the leader of both the country will propagate different idea that will be anti-capitalism. Clear? Here you will have to apply your mind only, because it is not related to any theoretical aspect. It is simply a type of prediction, the contemporary global scenario in which way it is emerging. On the basis of that you will have to write. You will have to apply your mind. Next question. Question please. This is all about today's class. Again, I am leaving the class today earlier. Right, keep in mind. 10 minutes plus 5 minutes, 15 minutes, then you will have to give me 13. 15 minutes.
10 minutes, only 5 minutes.
And earlier, 10 minutes. No. Then from tomorrow, we will start completely new section, that is political theory. Till then, good night and goodbye.